In tonight's WGN Investigates, they're considered safe zones throughout the city. Chicago public libraries welcome millions of visitors every year.
But workers fear there's little being done to keep them and their visitors safe. Investigative reporter Lourdes Duarte looks at the state of crime within Chicago's public spaces.
Libraries throughout the country seem to be a target lately. Talk of book bans have fueled anger and in some cases threats. So it's a tough time for library workers who are worried about their once serene public space. Chicago's libraries tell the city's story, architectural gems that attract people from all walks of life.
I feel like a lot of libraries are kind of a neutral zone. You know, they're kind of a peaceful zone.
But the story that workers fear may be unraveling is one they'd like to close the book on.
Every day is not an emergency at the library, but we always have to be ready for it to potentially be one.
Harold Washington library workers Adrian Seeley and Christopher Crotwell sat down with us to explain how they're feeling after some high-profile incidents at branches across the city. One of the most notable was in May of last year at King Branch on the south side when 26-year-old Calvin Williams was arrested, accused of assaulting patrons and staff at the branch.
Several people had skull fractures, one worker had a broken jaw, and it was just really a really shocking and disturbing event for us. And it put, as a staff, just throughout the system, it put us on edge.
The case is working its way through the courts. It may be the most severe, but it's not the only scare for workers.
I'm calling from the Woodson Regional Library, and we have a patron who is acting very erratically and threatening the security staff.
WGN Investigates look through incident reports. This 911 call-in report came in March after a patron started talking to himself and yelling, according to staff.
Right now he's on the stairs. He was asked to leave for the day, and he's just really gone off the handle, and I've asked the guard to pull back because I'm afraid he might attack her.
Is he yelling, kicking, screaming, punching, anything like that?
He's swearing, and he talked about coming back to shoot up the place.
Library workers will tell you scenarios like this are not unusual.
A lot of violent confrontations between patrons. I've seen a man repeatedly struck with a wooden chair. I have seen patrons fighting in larger groups of 5, 6, 7 patrons fighting.
Inside the library?
Inside the library. Fights happen on a regular basis.
Using Chicago's open data portal, we added up police reports at libraries for the last 5 years. In 2021, 126 reports, everything from theft to sex offenses and battery to trespassing. Now watch as those numbers continue to rise in the years that follow. By 2024, the number of police reports linked to libraries had more than doubled to 342. And this year, reports are on pace to surpass 2024.
Yeah, I think we'll see that increase. I don't think there's any way that doesn't increase.
Our WGN cameras have captured patrons using library computers to tap into pornography in the past. They're allowed to do that. It only becomes a crime if the sites involve a child or they commit a sexual act. About 20% of the police reports last year included sexual offenses, assault or battery, even kidnapping. Another 40% were linked to theft. Criminal damage to property, narcotics, or trespassing made up the rest. So to address those numbers, union leaders have asked for better safety tools, but haven't received the response they'd hoped for.
It was at the January meeting at which they said, well, we hear you about working panic buttons and surveillance cameras in every branch, but it's going to be 2 years until we can fulfill the panic buttons, and it's going to be 5 years until we can fulfill the surveillance cameras. That's not acceptable.
Through a statement, a Chicago Public Library spokesperson said they are taking proactive steps to improve safety. Quote, more than half of CPL libraries are already equipped with cameras and panic buttons, with a multi-year plan underway to ensure every location has these tools in place. Public-facing staff are completing over 10 hours of mental health and de-escalation training.
They should not have to worry about public safety.
As the Secretary of State, Alexi Janulius is considered the state's librarian. He's looking to Springfield to address the issue statewide.
It doesn't cost taxpayers anything new. It just allows us to take the library grants and use them for security measures.
The bill failed during the last legislative session, but has been reintroduced and is waiting for a vote.
It's deeply upsetting that we have to pass a bill to protect our librarians.
It's one tool to perhaps safeguard the city's most prized properties and people from attacks that seem to be growing by the day.
Every woman should feel comfortable coming into the library, and the heaviest thing that she should have to leave with is a stack of books. Like, trauma shouldn't happen in our spaces.
And CPL has made some changes, encouraging employees to reach out to police if needed. They think that may contribute to the increase in police reports. As far as what comes next, the union says it keeps pushing the library system to act with urgency when it comes to addressing crime. I'm Lourdes Duarte, WGN Investigates.